AITA for refusing to pick up my 4-year-old from my ex's house while his girlfriend was in labor? I know how the title sounds, but hear me out. I have a 4-year-old with my ex. Him and his girlfriend were expecting a baby any day now. It was around 12 a.m. on Saturday, when he called me and asked me to pick up my son because his girlfriend was in labor. I had no problem watching my son, but I had been drinking, so I told him I wouldn't be able to pick him up, he needed to be dropped off. They live a 5-minute drive away from me. He argued with me, and told me I needed to come and pick him up now, since she was in labor. I explained I had been drinking and would not be driving to come get him, because I did not feel safe driving myself, let alone with my 4-year-old in the car. I was perfectly capable of watching him, but he would need to be dropped off to me, since I had had a few drinks. He called me irresponsible and told me I shouldn't have been drinking so close to her due date. He never once told me her due date or that I should be available during his parenting time to pick him up in case she goes into labor. I told him that while my 4-year-old is my responsibility on my parenting time, his girlfriend and new baby were not my responsibility. I also said it would be irresponsible of me drive after I'd had a few drinks. I reiterated that I was willing to take him, but he needed to drop him off because I would not be driving since I'd had a few drinks. He started yelling at me over the phone to, "Get your ass over here now." So I just hung up and sent him a text that I was home if he decided to drop him off. He ended up dropping him off and screaming at me in front of our 4-year-old, so I took my son inside and locked the door. This whole argument took 30 minutes, while he could have just drove the 5 minutes and dropped him off and been on his way. I honestly feel sorry for the girlfriend for having to wait even longer to go to the hospital, but I was not about to put my son or anyone else in danger because he wanted me to drive while I'd been drinking. So AITA for refusing to pick up my son? Commenter. Question. Does Uber not exist? OP response. Uber does exist, but one, I didn't think of it in the moment, and 2, even if I had thought of it, that would have taken much longer. I would have had to wait for a ride, which could have easily been 20+ minutes where I live and at that time of day. Plus I would have had to uninstall the car seat from my car, install it in an Uber, and then uninstall it again once I got home. Not sure if you meant me take an Uber or my ex send my son in one, but if you meant the latter, I would never let any 4-year-old be alone in a stranger's car. Commenter reply. No, I was definitely not saying put a 4-year-old in an Uber alone. Frankly, you're both dumb as fuck. He should have stopped arguing and just dropped the kid off. But frankly, it is bizarre that you wouldn't immediately say no, I can't drive, but I can get an Uber and be there as soon as I can.